The time now is 7:15 a.m. Eastern Time. And it is very shocking that we have trouble. Trouble in the lurks. And I had to go in pitch black this morning with the news on Diddy. I knew it was to come. Civil lawsuit, massive civil lawsuit from the lovely attorney Tony Buzbee in Texas yesterday did a press conference stating 3,285 people have reached out to his office claiming to be victims by Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy Love. But at this point, I don't know if love is the word, because what we're looking at today and for the future, it is not going to be pretty. Yesterday, Tony Buzbee, he stated that they are representing currently, out of the 3,285 people that has reached out to his office, 120 people they are currently representing in regards to Diddy being claiming to be victims. Yes, I had to have a blackout because it's gonna get worse. I think this is worse than Bill Cosby. This is worse than O.J. Simpson. This is worse than Michael Jackson. This is worse than R. Kelly. This is worse than Jeffrey Epstein. This is worse than Harvey Weinstein. This is worse than. This is up there. This is up there. And I don't want to hear no more about Donald Trump having quote unquote 34 felonies. I don't want to hear nothing about him having all these felonies. When Tony Buzbee just did, and I quote, a press conference yesterday stating that 3,285 people have reached out to him in regards to being victims with Puff Daddy. And they are currently representing 60 men, 60 women, and they, according to him, the allegations started from the year of 1991 to 2024. Think about that. And then to top it all off, the alleged SA conduct, because I can't say the word, but if you know YouTube, you should know what SA means. Diddy had messed with a 9-year-old, allegedly. Allegedly. I don't know where to start, where to begin, but at this point, this is not looking good for Diddy. This is not looking good for Diddy. This is not looking good for anybody that has been affiliated or associated with Diddy. And I'm calling people out. This is a blackout because I don't want to be involved with this madness. I look at the pictures, all these parties that Diddy had, and Tony Buzbee, the attorney that's representing these victims in Texas from different states. In the press conference, he said the civil lawsuits are going to be coming from Georgia, New York, California. He's not playing. And he also said anybody that Watch this. He says he has names, but he don't want to put the names out yet. He gave a heads up to any of these so-called, in his word, facilitators. Those who did nothing. Those who just stood by. Those who, quote unquote, watched. You will get charged too. And so I did my research. I looked up one of the people that I looked up allegedly that was at some parties with Diddy was multi-billionaire Oprah Winfrey. Why hasn't she said anything? She doesn't mind doing interviews. She doesn't mind doing interviews with Lisa Marie Presley's daughter. She doesn't mind doing interviews with Tony Braxton. Oprah Winfrey doesn't mind doing all these random interviews. What about the interview when she was going to these parties, smiling with Diddy? We have pictures of Oprah with Diddy at Diddy's quote unquote parties, allegedly, just smiling. And by what Tony Buzbee said himself at the press conference, he said, and I quote, these so-called allegations, these essay incidents occur at parties, album release parties, after parties, New Year's Eve parties, 4th of July parties, a party called Puppy Party. What is Puppy Party? Oh, hello, Noah Fun. Hello, how you doing? I'm just talking about Diddy. I am literally talking about Diddy. And the press conference that was released yesterday by the attorney Tony Buzbee. He's not playing any games today. Yes, thank you. You said it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce your name right. Our Static Corner. Yes, it's a Christmas party. I am from one of the states that the attorney that is suing Diddy, he's representing 120 victims. I'm actually from the state that he mentioned in the lawsuit. I am from Georgia. And I'm wondering, because the city that I'm in, I'm from Atlanta. And in this city, Diddy is known to have had a lot of parties. In this city, he actually had a restaurant that ended up closing down. In this city, he had a home. So I'm wondering, are there victims here in Atlanta that this attorney is going to have a nice conversation? Hi. Yes. Please get a thumbs up. But yes, like I said, with the artist Diddy, it's not looking good. It is not looking good. This attorney said that it is not going to be a class action. He said it is going to be multiple lawsuits in multiple states. And on top of that, with each case, it might be one case they might just sue Diddy. The next case might sue multiple people in one case. I don't know if you guys know this. Jenny's on live now? Oh man. I'm gonna make it quick. But I might have to see Janice at another time. Oh God. But like I said, with Diddy, it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. It's to the point where I don't know what to say for his children, because if anybody knows that Christian Combs, he currently has allegations, currently has alleged case. His other son, Justin Combs, I don't know what's to come. I just pray that the attorney that is representing these 120 victims. Oh, yes, I am I have to have a blackout in this on this live because Diddy is just, he deserves a blackout. He deserves a blackout because of what's going on with him. The way it's looking, I don't think Diddy is gonna get out of jail. I don't even think Diddy is gonna see the light again, in my opinion. So I had to do a blackout. I literally had to do a blackout on this show. So, like I said, oh, thank you. Everybody, please double tap, like the video, like the live. I'm talking about Diddy today. Like I said, I'm just gonna go down the list of notes that I took during this 38, I think it was a 38-minute press conference yesterday. Tony, the attorney, said that, like I stated, it is 120 victims that his law firm is representing. In addition to, they're currently interviewing 100 people. In addition to the 120 victims that they are currently representing, which are the age that start at the age of 9 when the alleged incidents occurred. One victim said that they were 9 years old. We're going all the way back from 1991 all the way to 2024. So they're really trying to come at Diddy. I don't even know what's happening with Diddy's money. Diddy's supposed to be worth $500 million. I don't know if they have frozen his assets right now. I don't know what's to come. In addition, the attorney Tony said that they have proof. They said that the victims sought medical treatment for their injuries and were tested for drugs. So they actually have paper trail on Diddy. They actually have witnesses. Also, they said that it was 62% of African American, 30% of white, and the remainder of the 120 victims that they're representing are Asian or Hispanic. So he made sure to point that out, to say, well, is victims, they were from all different backgrounds, all different cultures, all different races. He said that that his law firm has experience. He stated at the press conference that his law firm has been dealing with cases for 25 years. So they do have experience. They have notified, some of the victims have notified the FBI. So that's kind of giving a heads up what's to come for Diddy even more. Also, the attorney, Tony Buzbee, he said that the victims, if anybody want to question why did the victims wait so long, because like I said, this case is dealing with SA conduct all the way from 1991. He stated that anybody that's been a victim, they would be afraid. He said that the victims, they were afraid that they would be retaliated, humiliated, and backlash. One of the people that we know was a victim, allegedly, I'm just gonna say that, was Cassie. I think she the one that turned the ball when Diddy gave her supposedly $30 million. I think money talks. Money talks a lot. I think when people saw that Diddy paid Cassie that multiple millions and millions of dollars, now look at what we have. We have 120 people that are currently being represented by one law firm. And they are coming from, based off of what this attorney stated, they're victims from California, they're victims from New York, they're victims from Georgia. Yes, it's very intense. Very intense. And one thing I noticed what he said, he brought a team with him. He brought a team with him that to make sure, like, let people know that if you feel that you were a victim, it's not too late to get the help from them. They will represent you. All they ask, and he made sure he clarified that you must be able to identify witnesses. You must be able to have a corroboration. You must basically, he want names. He wants some names, and he actually he put a phone number. I put it in on the thumbnail. He put a phone number of how the victims can reach him. So I know ever since yesterday, I know it's going to be a number of people calling. Cause like I stated, it's been over 3,200 people reaching out to his law firm, and out of that 3,200 people, they're representing 120 victims. So another thing he stated the old saying: a lie has great speed, great spin, but truth has endurance. I'm gonna say it again: a lie has great speed, but truth has endurance. So basically, you can tell a lie for only so long, but the truth is going to come out. And in Diddy's case, this lie has been going on as far as the allegations, because he has not been found, quote unquote, guilty just yet. But based off of what this attorney says that they have, Diddy has been doing this ever since 1991. I don't know what to say. Also in the video of the press conference, he said that 55% of his 120 victims reported their matters to authorities and or hospital, meaning they have what? They're going for a medical record, so they will have proof that something transpired. When some of the victims went to the hospital, they were tested. They were tested for a tranquilizer, a horse tranquilizer. Listen to what I'm saying. Horse tranquilizer. These victims had in their blood system. The attorney made it seem as if he basically stated that this tranquilizer, amongst other things, was used to put them in a certain disposition where they could not handle themselves and could be used and not remember things. So he says that it's a lot of things, but he didn't want to give a lot more information. But I think the fact that he said that 55% of his victims reported the matter to authorities as well as the hospital. So not only do they have hospital records, medical records, they also have incident reports. And that's one thing. I think a lot of these victims were scared. A lot of these victims, I mean, if Diddy was worth $500 million, and according to Cassie, his ex-girlfriend, who won the alleged $30 million lawsuit against Diddy, in the documents, it stated that Diddy basically blew one of a rapper's car up because he was jealous that she was dating him, dating another guy, or just at the guy's house, allegedly. This rapper allegedly. So this is just to give you a hint that I can see why the victims were afraid, but on the backside of it, it does kind of make you wonder. It kind of makes you wonder, why so long? I mean, I just don't get it. I get it, but then I don't. And as for this attorney, he said that he plans on naming names other than Puff Daddy, Diddy, Sean Combs. He's playing. And see, I hope that, like I said, I hope that Diddy's sons are not in this. I hope they're not in any of these so-called videos. I hope they're not in any of this, because in at the press conference, the attorney said that at these parties, these victims, they were given $10,000 and told to leave each time, different people. So Diddy alleged had so much power where he would actually have these parties, put these people under certain drugs allegedly, and when they were out of it, he did what he did. I'm gonna just leave it at that, because I'm trying to be careful how I say or what I say. People that watched and participated, that's another thing the attorney said. He said everybody's going down. It's going to be a Christmas party, a Diddy party, a Thanksgiving party. It's going to be the 4th of July. All of the above. Because he made sure he stated at the press conference that all the people who participated, who knew about this, who facilitated this, he calls them for a facilitator of foul play. He said that anyone who knew anything and didn't do anything, either A, you're going to reach out to him, or if they reach out to you, you're going to end up like Diddy. So, because basically he said, in his case, he's just dealing with the civil lawsuit. He's dealing with all the civil lawsuits, but he did say that they're planning on forwarding the victims and information to the FBI, because they've already started the process. One line he said, you can't hide skeletons in the closet. You can't hide the skeletons in the closet. He made sure he said that at the press conference. Then he introduced a national victim advocate at the press conference named Carrie Paul. I think he had a team of people to basically let anybody know, like, you're not alone. You are not alone. You will never be alone. Just speak. It's never too late. So at this point, I don't know what's to say, but I will say, he did leave a number for any victims. If you feel like you have been victimized or you were a witness to Diddy, you can call a number. If you're not alone, I will probably put the number in the description, because I don't know if I can say the number, but I did put it in the thumbnail for any of the victims. So, like I stated, with this Diddy case, it's crazy. It is ridiculous. It is just, I don't know. I really believe at this point I don't see Diddy getting out like that. Because we also have to understand with Bill Cosby. Look what happened to Bill Cosby. I mean, this is a man that is quote unquote legally blind. And they locked him up, put him in prison. He's out now, but look at all what they did with him. Diddy is worse. I've never seen this in my life, where 3,200 people reach out to one law firm against Diddy. I've never seen this in my life. I will say this in regards to the episodes that have been going on with Diddy throughout the years. I think money talks. I think with Diddy's brand, I think his brand went down. And when it's just like with anything, when a person see that you are of no value to them, that is with anything, then they either move on, or they try to take what they can out of you and move on. And I think with Diddy at this point, I think he burnt a lot of bridges. I think he made a lot of people mad, a lot of businesses mad. I mean, he did a deal with Ciroc. Still, quote unquote, from my record, that he was in a lawsuit with Ciroc. So I think and then to top it all off, look at how he burnt his artists. Then we got, the allegations, that he had something to do with the Tupac as well as Biggie. So I think at this point, it's a lot going on. I just hope I pray for the kids. And when I say kids, I mean the toddler as well as the 16-year-old daughters. I think with the sons, all three of those sons, they are over the age of 25. They are men. They are grown men. And at this point, if you don't know how to be a man at this point, I don't know what to tell you. Because now it is those boys' responsibilities to prepare those girls and be there for them. Because for the twins, we have to understand, Kim Porter, she passed away. So now they don't have a mother nor father. And even as for Diddy's mother, his mother, the grandmother, she had to go to the hospital for chest pain. So I'm thinking that I think Diddy and all them, they've been knowing what was going on. And I think it was worrying Diddy's mother. So I say that to say, I hope that Diddy's children really come together now, because they're going to need it. Especially the toddler that Diddy had. I don't know how old the toddler is, but it's to the point now. It is chaos. It is just chaos. I don't wish this on anybody. I really don't. Because like I said, Diddy, quote unquote, was at one point worth $500 million. I don't know if he has that $500 million now. I mean, the attorney Tony Buzbee did a press conference yesterday, said over 3,200 people have reached out to him. If you know, Diddy gave alleged Cassie $30 million allegedly. How much money you think gonna get spread out to the 120 victims? And then on top of that, they already said, quote unquote, at this point, he's not getting out. He is not getting out. And I don't know what to say, because at this particular point, it is chaos. It is complete, utter chaos. Because now I don't know how the estate is going to look. Like I said, I hope nothing happens to the other son, Christian Combs, because Christian Combs, according to some documents, he was on a boat and a victim said he made her do something. I can't say it on the live, but he allegedly forced her to do something. So I pray that these videos that the attorney Tony Buzbee said yesterday that he, quote unquote, has, I pray that his son, Christian Combs and Justin Combs, are not in any of these videos. Now, as far as Quincy Combs, I don't think he's going to be in any videos. I don't think he's going to be. But see, I don't know what's to come. I really don't know what's to come at this point, because it's chaos. It's just crazy at how all of this is trickling down. Now, one thing that he did mention, and I want to make sure I state this. He said that they are victims that were in Georgia, New York, California, and Florida. Me, I live in Georgia. In Georgia, I pray it's not in Atlanta. And the reason I pray it's not in Atlanta, because we currently are going through chaos in our city. We have we have the Donald Trump case that has been postponed. We have the Young Thug case that is currently going on. And Young Thug has been locked up going on 2 years. And his trial hasn't been too long started. As well as Donald Trump trial has been postponed. So with Diddy, like I said, I hope it's not in Atlanta, because the district attorney that is over Fulton County when it comes down to the courts, because Fonnie Willis, she wants to be in the light. She's almost like Kamala Harris. She's like a district attorney version of Kamala Harris. How Kamala Harris was when she was the DA in California. So, like I said, if there's any victims in Atlanta, Fonnie Willis is coming for Diddy. Fonnie Willis is not gonna be. She's not gonna be playing. She's not. I pray she doesn't, because she can't really. She's not really that good of a district attorney. She's really not. She's cost Atlanta millions of dollars. She's wasted millions of dollars with the Donald Trump case that's never gonna move forward. It's never gonna move forward. It's not. Why? Because Fonnie Willis, like I said, so similar to Kamala Harris, even when it comes down to dealing with married men. Fonnie Willis, the district attorney, this is the same person that hired a special lead prosecutor to be over the Donald Trump case. His name was Nathan Wade. Come to find out, she had a quote-unquote relationship with this married man. And that was one of the reasons the trial had to be postponed. Why? Because the judge actually, Donald Trump's team's phenomenal. They actually went to the judge to appeal this. The judge, he only basically told Fonnie Willis, the attorney down here, the district attorney down here in Atlanta, that either A, you step down, or B, your special lead prosecutor for Donald Trump team trial against Donald Trump has to step down, and Nathan Wade did. So this is what all we have going on here. We don't need Diddy to come here. I wish I could reach out to the attorney that's representing these victims. To the victims here in Georgia, my prayers go out to you, but please go to Florida. Please go to New York, because Fonnie is not going to go anywhere here in Atlanta. Fonnie is dealing with enough mess with her own personal matters that has caused millions to this city dealing with the Trump trial, millions with the city dealing with Young Thug case, and it's in limbo. So with Diddy's mess and these victims at this particular time, it's a mess. And I really, like I stated, it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse than R. Kelly. It's going to be worse than Jeffrey Epstein. It's going to be worse than Harvey Weinstein. It's going to be worse than Bill Cosby. I'm going to be honest. Anybody who agrees, you can hit the like button when I say this. This Diddy case is worse than O.J. Simpson mess. And I don't think Diddy listened. Diddy didn't listen when Johnny Cochran, the same person that represented O.J. Simpson in the Nicole Brown mess. Johnny Cochran said, and I quote, "I will not do any more criminal cases," when he represented Diddy before. He represented Diddy, got him out. This is when they had the huge mess at the club in New York when Diddy was dating Jennifer Lopez. And yes, they're going to bring her up. I guarantee you, they're going to bring her up in this mess. Why? Because remember what I said. In the press conference, they said that these victims go all the way back to the year of 1991. What year did that mess happen in New York? It's all coming back. That is why you have these celebrities who used to smile with Diddy, such as Oprah Winfrey, such as Ashton Kutcher, such as Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm calling them out. I'm calling you people out. Really am, because see, the difference between me and you, I'm not finna sit here and show my face and smile and know it's wrong. See, people like to be your friend when they know you have something for them, when you can do something for them. But when you can't do nothing for them, then they do what? They just go away. So I think, like I said, Diddy, he has burnt a lot of bridges. Diddy has made people mad. And I'm going to put it out there. I think his money running low. I think it's running low. I really do, because it's kind of odd at this particular point. All these people are coming out. All of them are coming out. Now, I'm not saying I'm not victim shaming anybody. Like I said, Diddy deserves all what's to come if these allegations come to be true. But it took ever since 1991. 1991? No. So for me, at this particular point, Diddy has a lot to do with getting himself clean, for one. Because even though he's locked up in jail right now, and as much as they say Diddy was quote unquote allegedly not clean, he was still quote unquote had drugs in him. The worst thing you can do is put somebody in jail and they're not clean, because what's going to come? They're going to have withdrawals. And with money like Diddy, he's going to be paying people, I promise you, in jail, $5,000 on the books. I guarantee it. I guarantee it, because he's going to need help. He's going to need help when it comes down to the other cellmates. He's going to need help when it comes down to these quote unquote officers, because people don't like men that mess with children. Okay? So I can't get into detail, but like I said, they don't want to. It's like that is the worst thing you can ever do, to go to jail or go to prison by SA. That's the worst thing. SA conduct. That's the worst thing you could do. Now, moving forward, I wanted to talk about the election. I wanted to talk about the election, the debate, the vice president debate last night. I'm not sure if I'm going to talk about it. I was going to talk about it, but I don't know if I might make another video discussing the part dealing with the vice president candidates. So at this particular time, if you have any comments, let me know before I either move to the next topic dealing with the presidential and vice presidential debates. Let me know before I move forward, because I can keep talking about Diddy. I can keep talking about the diddler. But I'll say this, I don't like, one thing I do not like, people that come online and think it's a joke, because at the end of the day, Diddy does have a mother that had allegedly went to the hospital because of chest pains. Diddy does have children. I mean, he has a toddler. And it's alleged, he might have some other one on the way, allegedly, other ones on the way. So I don't like when people make jokes about matters like this. I'm not saying Diddy is, he's an angel, but you kind of have to look at it like people's lives are being affected. It's not, and I'm not saying Diddy was right or wrong, but a 16-year-old girl, come on now. They are children. They have nothing to do with this. So it's kind of sad. It's really sad, because Diddy's father wasn't in his life. Diddy's father passed away. So it's kind of like it's kind of ironic now that Diddy's not going to be there for his children, because Diddy's father passed away, all because of, if anybody knows, all because of dealing with a bad, he was out there in the streets. I'll just say it that way. He was out there in the streets. So it was a deal going bad in the streets. I'll leave it at that. And you know that old saying, when you're out there in the streets, you're either gonna go to jail or you're gonna go six feet below. So I think it's kind of sad that it had to go like this. It had to transpire like this. I don't know I really believe Diddy should have just settled with Cassie. I really do. I think if Diddy would have settled with Cassie way before she put out the lawsuit, way before she mentioned names, I think all of this wouldn't have came about, because now people say, whoa, I can get 30 million. I can get 50 million. What? I didn't know I could get 50 million. So, hey, shoot, a million. So at this point, I don't know what to say. I hope, like I said, with the boys, is he has what is it? Christian Combs. He has Quincy Combs as well as Justin Combs. I hope and pray that they have money put to the side for those girls, as those their siblings, their sisters, as well as themselves, because we all know what happened to O.J. Simpson when he got locked up. He walked out. He didn't have no money. He didn't have no money. And as a matter of fact, he didn't let anybody know that he had an illness. So I hope that his children, Diddy's children, are ready for whatever comes. Whatever comes. Because one thing you do not know, you don't know what the future brings. You don't know what the future brings. As a matter of fact, you don't even know what the quote unquote present brings. So at this point, you just have to be ready. You have to be ready. You have to be prayed up. Because I think at this point, that's the only thing that's on Diddy's side. Because God does not judge. I hate that all of this is going on like it's going on. And then the trial hasn't even been started. And that's another thing I wanted to state, that with all these allegations and with all these victims, the trial may not even start until probably 3 or 4 years from now. 3 or 4 years. So just think about it. Diddy's going to be in jail for 3 to 4 years before a trial is even started. Because the judge is not letting him out. He tried to go to the judge, his attorney, which is a horrible attorney that I think, he's not that good, tried to go to the judge twice. The second time they went, they said he could put up $50 million. And allegedly, he had put his mother house up to make up for the $50 million, to bond out, but the judge denied it. I think at this point, it's not about the money when it comes down to this case. I think with the allegations, it's going to be very crazy at this point, because he's not going to get out. I don't think he's getting out. Now, I'm not saying I can't predict what the future holds for Diddy. I really can't. But what I can predict is he not getting out of jail before the trial start. I know that. I know that much. Like I stated, let this be a lesson for anybody. Be careful how you live your life, and don't get caught up. Don't get comfortable with even on YouTube. Don't get comfortable thinking that, oh, I got all these subscribers. Oh, I'm making all this money, because guess what? They can take it away. Just like what's happening to Diddy. Diddy thought he had all this going on. Look where he's at. Money cannot buy everything. Money, they say money can buy happiness, but if let me know if it's being in jail happy. Let me know being in prison happy. Let me know being away from your family and your family being away from you is happy. What good is the money if your money could get frozen? Because guess what? With these civil lawsuits that's in the lurks right now, if the victims win these civil lawsuits, what do you think they're gonna do? How do you think they're gonna get the money? Diddy's gonna be locked up. Diddy's not married. He wasn't married. He's never been married. And as a matter of fact, who is over his companies? Who's over his brand? So that's why I say be careful how you move. Be careful how you look at life, because you have to cherish it. You have to actually, wake up, go to sleep, wake up, be blessed that you wake up. But when you wake up, that doesn't mean treat others disrespectfully. Like how Diddy did Cassie in that video allegedly. So you have to just be mindful how you move, because karma is very wild. Karma in the universe can really come. And it can really knock sense into you and humble you. So I'm going to move forward to talking a little bit about the election. I might just do maybe an hour of the Diddy, about maybe 10 more minutes. If anybody has any questions dealing with the Diddy matter or have any opinion, you can state it in the chat, or even in the comments when the live ends. I would say with Diddy, with the press conference that was released, or that they did yesterday, it's very shocking. I'm going to just go over what was stated one more time. It was 3,285 individuals claimed to be victimized by Diddy. Out of the 3,285 individuals, 120 people are currently being represented by the attorney Tony Buzbee in Texas. Buzee, I'm so sorry, Attorney Buzee. Attorney Buzee said it is for justice, and alleged victims described the scenario of being given things in drinks and were quote unquote raped by Diddy and a group of people at different parties called album release parties, after parties, New Year Eve, 4th of July, as well as auditions. The attorney says there were victims that sought medical treatment for injuries and tested to have animal tranquilizer in their blood system. The animal tranquilizer known as, I think he said, what is it called? Oh my goodness. Xylazine. I think I'm saying it right. I'm not sure. Of the 120 victims that he's currently representing against Diddy, it is 60 males, 60 females, 62% are African, 30% are white, as well as the other remainder are Asian and Hispanic. So he just stated that to say that the victims are diverse and come from various backgrounds. He said victims start at the age of 9 from when the incidents happened. They're not currently 9, but he said that they went through their incidents with Diddy at the age of 9. Also, he said at the press conference that the matter started from 1991 all the way to 2024. I'm trying to see who was in 2024, but let me continue. He said that lawsuits will be filed in the next 30 days. He just giving a heads up. He said lawsuits will be filed in the next 30 days in the states of Georgia, New York, California, and Florida. Attorney Buzbee also said that he personally has handled cases himself for 25 years. He said that he's notified and plans on notifying the FBI in regards to the current victims that he's representing, as well as any more that come to his law firm. He said that just in case anybody questions why the victims waited so long since 1991, he said that they were afraid of retaliation, humiliation, and backlash. The attorney said he has already been scrutinized himself, but he believes in justice, as well, and as he believes the victims, and stated in the press conference to anybody that comes out now that you can get justice, that you can get help by him and his team. The only thing that he asked for is to identify witnesses. If you were one of the victims, he need names, because on his end with his victims, he has videos, he has pictures, he has text messages, he has venues, places, and dates and times. As a matter of fact, his team has currently hired a former detective. So you know it's getting serious when his team, his law firm is spending money to find out more information and dirt against Diddy. He said it's very difficult. It's very difficult for victims to come forward. And he stated, however, a lie has a great speed, but the truth has endurance. So he's stating to the victims that you are not alone, and that there's only so far that a lie will go. Now, within the places of New York, he stated that the incidents happened in Manhattan, in the Hamptons, and in California. The main place the incidents transpired was in Los Angeles, as well as in Florida. The main location in Florida was in Miami. Now, I also want people to take note with this, that all these places, this is where Diddy actually have homes and condos. I just want people to think about that. Also, he said that 55% of victims reported the matter to authorities and to different hospitals, meaning that he has proof against Diddy. So he just throwing it out there like, we're coming. And he also said this is not a class action. A class action lawsuit is a class action in which one or two people might file a case on behalf of a group of people. He said no. It's going to be case by case. Like a case one person might sue just Diddy in one city. Another person might sue with another city, but in that city it might be two people. So it's different. He said it's not a class action. It's going to be, and he also said one person might sue in a state or a city, and then they might just come in as a group. He said it all depends. Also, he said he made sure that he plans on naming names other than Diddy. And also, he's giving everybody heads up. If you have worked with Diddy and you didn't do anything, if you have been around and you were laughing, you was taking pictures, you was doing whatever, guess what? He said you are known as the facilitators of foul play, and he is coming. It's, I'm thinking about all these so-called multi-billionaires that were at these quote-unquote Diddy parties. I have not heard anything from, just think of, if anybody just go online or do your own research. I might do another video where I'm not in the black. I'll see. I'm not sure. But you can actually see the different people that went to these quote unquote all white parties. I mean, will Jay-Z be next? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But I just, it's like the attorney did say he gonna name out. He plans on naming names. He said anyone who knows anything, please reach out. And he says you can't hide skeletons in the closet. So I'm going to quote unquote say at this point, I think that will conclude this, but I will also ask you if anybody feels that they know someone that was a victim, please reach out. Please reach out. He did have a number. He did have a number for the victims or anybody that knows anything to reach out. And the number is, I'm not sure if I should say, I might do a live. I'll do this. When I do the next live, I'll state the number because I'm still kind of new to YouTube. I'm still kind of new when it comes down to doing live content, and I don't want to get a strike before I even start. But if you want to know the number, I did put the phone number in my thumbnail in regards to reaching out to this attorney if you are a victim. If you know of a victim, it is in my thumbnail. So just know you're not alone. Just know, like what he said. You can't keep the skeletons in the closet. So I appreciate everyone who listened to this live, everyone who actually came in. Thank you so much. Shout out to all of the people that came into the chat. And this is Politic Graham.